there's just so much dog hair on me. It's the only downside of wearing black. I can't find a lint roller anywhere.
Oh, should I be recording? Yeah, dude. I also have the same problem. If I can, Trinity, dude, it's everywhere. It's bad.
It's like I see so many lint rollers in the house, and then when I need one, it's like, where was that lint roller?
They're non-existent,
and they're just like all hiding in a corner, like under a shelf somewhere. Like,
I need to keep one in my car. So I can bring one over here.
That's way too logical.
Yeah. Why would I do that?
I need to do that too, but here we are. Welcome
back to the podcast. This is episode 36. 36 whole episodes. We are the Midwest Sad Boys. I'm Jim.
I'm Jason.
And we are happy to bring you weekly episodes every Wednesday, ranging anywhere from Blippi's career choices prior to being a kid's content creator to, what's going on in the pop culture internet world, making vagina beer and OnlyFans girls, we talk
dating
about everything.
Sex dolls. We perform seances based off of WikiHow information. Well. Yeah, we do everything here, and I hope that you will join us for the shenanigan that happened.
That's multiple shenanigans for those who aren't informed.
There will be more than one shenanigan. I promise you. We have a lot of podcasts left this year. How many more? 50 left?
Yeah, I mean, we're like 4 out of 52. So
yeah, so don't you worry. There's a lot of shenanigan to be had, and we're glad that you're here with us for it. So
there will be a shenanigan eventually.
Is that a group of shenanigan?
Yeah, that's the shenanigan when they all hang out together.
There's a murder of shenanigan outside. Like that's intimidating.
I wonder what a murder of shenanigan looks like.
Dude, I'll never forget when I heard a murder of crows. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about this in the podcast.
Like a gaggle of geese and a murder of crows.
Those Midwest sad boys, they're just
and those meese, those multiple meese. It's not the pernect. Correct pronunciation of the multiple of moose, which is just moose.
Look at all those moose.
Yeah, there's the many much moosing.
They're moosing. There's so many moose moosing.
Many much moosing.
Every day I'm moosing.
What's going on in your world, man?
Oh man, just getting what everyone calls the classic job stopper.
Yep.
Which, I mean, again, I've had tattoos on my hands for a long time, but
let's see this thing.
Look at that. Nice little Arcanine boy. Deviated a little bit from the original idea.
It fills the space a lot better, though.
It does, and this is one of my favorite artworks. It's the Black Star promo of Arcanine from 1999. So,
yeah,
Pokemon
I believe you.
Card collectors will understand what that is. I have a graded one. I have a PSA graded one over somewhere.
Is that just the original artwork or no?
It's not the original, but it's the first, like the Black Star promo of Arcanine from one of the earlier sets. So.
Well, there you have
just
it,
getting
folks.
some, 24, 25-year-old artwork. Just
it looks good though.
Blasted on the hand. Yeah.
Anything else new and exciting? Nothing.
Nah, man. I'm just trying to live in 2024.
Yeah. I have a. My 2024 is off to a great start.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you update us a little bit on how 2024 has been going for you so far?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you want these updates because they're sure not great updates. So let's see. First week, obviously, or I shouldn't say first week, but first there was those crazy storms that we had a couple of weeks ago, thanks to whatever tropical snow breeze storm that was rolling in through California. I think it was like Heather or Jerry or some shit like that because, we name storms.
Yeah.
I thought we only did that for tropical storms and hurricanes. I didn't know we were out here.
Just naming everything.
Naming clouds. Oh, what is it? Frosty girl Heather rolling through.
It's like, this storm is big enough. It deserves a name. It tried really hard and, I feel like it's one of those ones.
Yeah, it's one of those storms that ever were.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one of those storms rolled through and ended up knocking my fence or part of my fence down. Just ripped the fucking, what are the things? The hinges. It ripped the hinges right out of the post.
Like, so the gate.
Yeah, the gate.
The hinge is off the gate. Off the,
yeah.
Wow.
I got a picture. Let me see if I can.
It's like whenever they see a storm, they're like, you know what? This is going to be bad enough that people are going to remember it. We should give it a name.
Yeah. I don't know if this is focusing or not, but you can see here that this is the hinge that just got ripped out of the post. So there's the 4x4 and the hinge just yoinked. And then there's my gate just on the ground.
On the ground.
You know, it's fine.
Exactly.
It's whatever.
Just doing gate things.
Yeah. And then you see a couple of extra boards that definitely got broken in the storm.
At least did you realize that before you let Trinity out?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh no.
So the storm's happening and like it finally there was a lull in the storm and we're like, all right, Trent, let's go outside real quick before it starts raining. And my dog is a fucking princess. Will not go to the bathroom if it's raining. Literal child. So you have to go out there with her. She's not going out by herself. So you got to go out in the rain. Right. The other day, Megan had a lid for a plastic tote for the Christmas decoration. She has that over her head, just standing on the back porch with the damn thing on. I don't play Trinity's game, so she gets a boot out the door. I'm like, go fucking pee. So anyhow, yeah, my fence. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I let the dog out. I don't know that the fence is down. She luckily, nicely, thankfully, does her business, comes back. I let her back in. And my neighbor texts me. He's like, hey man, you gonna need to come outside real quick. Your fence is on the ground. And I was like, nah. And he was like, yeah, no, you need to come outside. And I was like, shit. So sure enough, half the gate laying on the ground. Ugh. So that happened. And then you gave me your fence guy's number. I call him. He comes out, gives me an estimate. He's coming out first week of March to replace my whole fence.
Oh, the whole fence?
Cost-wise, it just made sense to get the whole thing done. The part that I need fixed to appease my HOA so Bad Daddy Bratty doesn't come after me and start fining me was well within my budget of things that I was willing to replace. But then Megan and I sat down. We were like, do we want to just do the whole fence and then be done with this bullshit? Or do we get half the fence done or 1/4 of the fence, really? Because it's just the two faces. We get 1/4 the fence done. And then the rest of the fence falls.
Later on.
Or the rest of the fence, And then when we go to sell the house, you got partially new fence, partially old fence. Ain't nobody going to want that shit. So we'll just bite the bullet. We'll spend the extra money, and we'll just get it done now. And because my fence is not nearly as big as your fence, it's not nearly as much as what your fence cost.
And I also got the fence when wood was
you got it
during
expensive. During the blowout. Yeah. I think lumber prices have come down, but I also did you get a double? What do they call it? A double-sided?
Shadow box.
So you've got the alternating planks, right? Okay, so I didn't do that. I just went with the single, I guess, full privacy, whatever. But I didn't do the double. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where they do it on both sides. So we got a single, and he's putting it in first week of March. So I got to come up with the money for that. So then, you know what happens last night, everybody? Well, this would have been last week for y'all. But last night, we woke up and the damn thermostats turned off in the fucking house. So the upstairs of the house is 60 fucking degrees. Now, I recognize that it could be colder. I'm not bitching. I mean, I am bitching, but I'm not bitching. I'm just stating that it was cold as a goddamn witch's titty up there. And it was not pleasant waking up.
Yeah.
And so all day we're looking up how to fix this damn thing. And I went out and bought a new thermostat thinking it was thermostats, not thermostats. And I gotta call Carlos. Shout out to Carlos. He's coming by my house tomorrow for you guys last week. He's coming by tomorrow to get up in my attic and do some wiring investigation because I don't mess with electrical. That's how you get zappy boy. No thanks.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, my January is off to a great start. Fence fell down, heater, thermostat going out. I got to get my oil change, transmission oil, and my brake fluid changed in the Civi. So, there's another $600-700. 2024 is off to a banging start.
Just like, hey, man, all these things that could go wrong.
Yeah.
We're just going to lump them into January, and you can just kind of get them out of the way.
what is that Bo Burnham song? Little bit of everything, all of the time. It's just fucking nonstop, man. You put out one fire and another one fucking catches on fire. It's just like, fuck, dude.
That is how life is now.
It's like 2023 is just like coming back from the grave with like a fucking vengeance to just like.
You thought we were done.
Yeah, right? Back for round 2, Electric Boogaloo. So, yeah, dude, I'm just straight up not having a good time. So that's how my 24's starting. What about you?
You're over there dealing with like adult things and homeowner things.
I wish I wasn't, though.
And I'm just over there like, how do I wash my hair without my right hand?
Getting soap on the tattoo.
Yeah, like... So,
it's the little things, you know?
Yeah.
Especially because it's your right hand, too, which is your dominant hand.
Right. So, like, I'm going to have to do everything left-handed.
How do I wipe my ass left-handed? You ever broken your right hand?
Not successfully. Let me tell you that.
Ew? Is that what I smell?
No. No, it's just like, it's just significantly more difficult because, like, it's muscle memory.
Yeah, right. You're like, I got this. Give a little foldy job and whoop.
Fold, done. Yeah. Out, you know what I mean? But left hand, it's like, well, it's kind of going at an angle. I gotta I gotta wrap again. And
next thing you know, you got chocolate ice cream on your finger, and you're just like, I'm not having a good time.
Like, I'm just gonna call today a loss and just
start over,
chalk it up. Nope, and I'm done.
Try again tomorrow.
Yeah,
not today, Satan.
So, speaking of tattoos,
okay.
I don't know if we've talked about this. Yeah, speaking of chocolate ice cream. I think we've talked.
We made a really good joke about that the other day. Those poor women and that cup.
Damn. So I think we talked about tattoos in the past, maybe just a little bit. But what was your most painful tattoo?
Ooh, my most painful one.
Because you've got quite a few.
I do have quite a few. I have one whole sleeve arm, and then I've got both of my like. What are these? The collarbones,
shoulder areas.
Yeah, I've got both of my collarbones done, and then I have a half sleeve on my other arm. What was my most painful one? I'm trying to think. It's got to be one of the inside of the arms because those suck.
That sucks.
Or maybe it's my flower up here because this one it felt like I was getting my ear blasted.
Yeah.
So, but I can only imagine, dude, what that hand felt like.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, I have multiple finger tattoos. I have a thumb area tattoo. This was definitely different. I mean, like, again, for the camera, like it's a big boy.
You have no fat there to soften the blow of that needle. That shit is just pounding your tendons and your fucking bones,
it's
dog.
Like, what would you say, 50% of my hand? 50.
I mean, it literally stops at your knuckles.
At my knuckles.
So it's the entire backside of your hand minus your fingers.
Yeah. So it's it was not fun. But it still wasn't worse than the chest tattoo. The chest tattoo, because same thing as yours, like mid chest and up. It's like, dog, why are you tattooing on my neck?
Yeah, why? I don't have anything on my pec, so I can't speak on that.
So what's really funny is originally when I got this done, I was like, all right, I got a Gyarados over here. I'm gonna get an Arcanine on the other side of my chest. I was like, yeah, man, I'll come back in a few months.
That was like 3 years.
2015. It was a long ass time. Yeah. Like a long ass time ago. And what's funny is the first thing I sent Cody this picture. Shout out Cody. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's the little one doing?
Little Aussie.
Yeah. Homeboy doing any kickflips yet?
Did he have a job yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. I sent him this picture. He's like, so much for getting that Arcanine on your chest. I'm like, damn it, he remembered
that. Oh, I remember too. Yeah. I wasn't gonna say nothing because I can only imagine.
The chest was probably still my worst. So this was also my first time having the numbing spray. I didn't ask for it.
So is that the thing? Is that the newer stuff where they do it before you start?
So he did it after the outline.
Okay.
Like, again, I didn't ask for it. I'm nothing against anybody who does it. I'm not a bitch.
Right.
So like, I'm not going to ask for it.
Yeah.
So basically we're done with the outline. He sprays it on. I'm like, oh, he's like, yeah, it's gonna feel good. Like Tony swears by it. I'm like, okay. So he wraps it in like some saran wrap, and I'm sitting there waiting, and like the pain in my hand is just like diminishing,
dissipating.
I'm like,
you're like,
oh,
this is nice.
This is kind of nice. And then he starts tattooing, and like there's certain parts where it's like I don't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a quarter inch down, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's really it's interesting, but like I don't know. I think when I go to get the inside of this arm redone, I'm absolutely gonna be like, dude, spray that on. Let's go to town.
My longest session for tattoo was my Phoenix, and that was a one session shot, and it was like 7 hours of just getting blasted. So he did the outline, and he did like one pass of shading of like the highlights or lowlights or whatever. And he was like, dog, you're going to want this. And I was like, all right, like whatever, I'll take it. Sprays it on there, same thing, right? Like 10, 15 minutes, it starts to dissipate. And I was like, oh yeah, let's go. Let's get this done. You know what? Fucking just finish the whole arm while you're at it. Obviously I didn't do that. But the enjoyable part is when you're sitting there, right? And eventually it becomes kind of like soothing when you kind of check out mentally, if you can like disassociate from the pain.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm talking and I'm not really paying attention and yada, yada, yada. And all of a sudden he hits a spot where like there wasn't any spray. And I'm like, ah! Like, wasn't expecting that.
Well, and like, and it definitely wears off like,
yeah, it's not
30,
forever.
40 minutes after you've gotten it sprayed. So like,
yeah,
it's going to help.
It comes back.
But like, yeah, it definitely comes back.
Yeah, just spray for round 2.
Yeah. But like this was 2.5 hours.
I wish,
on
man.
the hand.
I wish.
And what's great is like, I've gone to a few places like stores, gas stations, a few customers' homes today, and I've definitely gotten looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, that's fine. Like, it's cool. But then I get done talking to people and I'm like, oh, you're so helpful and so kind. I'm like, yes, I am.
Could you say that louder into this microphone,
like,
please?
It's almost like you should never judge somebody based on how they look. I just like tattoos.
Except if you're wearing a wife beater and basketball shorts at McDonald's, you do meth.
Extremely oversized. Right.
Yeah. They have to be oversized. Then I know you're on meth. Anyhow, you know what? I had a client compliment me on the phone today because I was able to help them with their problem. And they're like, oh my goodness, Jim, I'm going to be calling you every time I have a problem. And I'm like, please don't.
Like, I know I'm great. Please don't.
I'm happy to help, but I don't want to.
I don't want to do it all the time. Thanks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some plans for some tattoos once we get all of our, like, I say that, right? Like, oh yeah, once we get all of our debt under control, as if like I'm not getting a new fence and we may have to get a new fucking furnace. Like, I'm never gonna get out of debt.
Yeah, I mean,
but I've got some plans for when we have that done. We were crunching some numbers the other day, and we're looking at like 20 months. We're getting there, man. 20 months.
That's not a long time.
Nope. We made 23 sucked for us in terms of just like money and overall funness, but because we busted our ass all year to get where we're at now, and we're going to do it again for 24, but we're looking forward to the trip, right? The trip is going to be like a good, like 3/4 of the way, like point where like when we get to, by the time the trip comes around, we should be really close to being done with this. So it's just like, we just got to get there. We just got to get to Scotland, right? So it's this year's going to be, shout out to everybody who is keeping a positive mindset for 24, because it is fucking 17 days in and I am done with this bullshit already.
Yeah. I feel like there's so many, like, you've got your own things happening that are like making it difficult. I've got some things going on that are making it interesting, to say the least.
Or they're gonna. It's gonna get interesting.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, shout out to everybody who's trying, whether you're succeeding or not.
You're trying, and that's what's important.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, really, that's really all you can do, because if you're not trying, at that point, you should just give up. So keep trying.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
Yeah,
and you know what you should do to help you with that is
always
stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
Hydration
Drink
check.
water. Oh, you know.
Yeah, look at that.
What are you sipping on today? Oh, is that the demonic cup? I'm so mad I missed out on that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. This is
I got that lame ass barista cup coming because it was like the new one.
I like that one. I just couldn't justify spending.
I'll trade you. I'll take that one. I wanted that one. I missed out on that sale.
I like this one.
That's a cool one.
I'm just drinking that decaf lean.
Megan loves her. She got one of those, the caffeine version. She likes that flavor.
Lean's probably my favorite so far.
Sipping on that lean.
Yeah.
Fofos I'm tipping. Wood grains I'm... Sorry.
We're not singing the same song.
No, we are not. What were you singing?
Oh, I wasn't singing anything.
Oh, okay.
But so update to my car situation for work.
Oh yeah, because you're still driving that weird van thing.
Transit van.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been it was supposed to be 2 weeks. It's been over 2 months.
Yeah.
And
did you get the mice out of the truck yet?
A different vehicle, not my problem anymore. But I was like, hey man, because I ask him every day.
Hey man, I got a car.
Purposely. I'm like, I'm not gonna let him like not do it. I'm like, hey man, any update in that car? And like yesterday, dude asked me, he's like, do you have an Amex? Why does me having a Amex
credit card have anything to do with work?
Yeah,
what?
like,
Yeah, where are you going with this?
Were you about to ask me to rent a car on my own? And what?
Yeah, where are you going with this, bud?
So straight away I was like, nope. And he's
you
like,
don't have one, right? I'm kidding.
No, I don't. And he's like, all right, next option. I'm like, what's that? No response.
What was the first option if I said yes?
So what he's supposed to do is find an expert who like maybe doesn't go to a lot of dispatches but makes a lot of calls.
Oh, the expert is in your role. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
So they have a car that's underutilized, right? They don't drive it every day, whatever.
Right.
And he's supposed to rent them a vehicle by calling a certain number, rent them a vehicle, and then give me that car.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, where are we at with this?
Yeah, like is Billy bringing me a Ford Focus like next week? What's the deal here?
The garage is asking me for this vehicle back, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, but I have to have a car.
I'm gonna start forwarding your calls to my boss,
right? And it's like the most uncomfortable drive, and it's so loud because there's so much stuff, like racks of things and like cones and stuff in the back.
That looks like one of those vans that like the dudes would come out and install cable wire, right?
That's exactly it.
Okay, so you have all that shit in the back, even though you're not installing stuff.
Which is why they need it back, because they have other techs who like need vehicles, and I'm like,
no,
sorry,
I'm not driving my own car for this shit.
No, absolutely not. There's not.
You don't pay me enough for that.
There's not I mean, they pay me, but no, not a chance. Not a chance. It's I don't know. I'm ready for it to be over with.
So you've had what? You've had a Fusion, a truck, and now this little transit van. The transit van is kind of nice, minus all the AT&T branding, but like it looks cool.
One thing I really like about it is the fact that the windshield is massive.
Oh yeah, it's got one of those big truck windshields.
Massive.
Yeah.
There's no like looking around like.
Oh yeah, you don't have to like peer around the mirror.
Yeah, I don't have to like duck and look around things. I can just like look, and it's like cool. I have I don't know what the degree would be of view, but like the field of view
is like a 120.
Yeah, the field of view is insane, and it's ideal. If I could just get like a regular vehicle with that would be so nice. The Jeep Renegades are awful.
Yeah,
like the little side support beam that goes down is like. Oh, like a foot thick.
Yeah,
and you can't. Yeah,
dude, you can hide a car behind that thing.
It's awful.
I'm just telling you, I am so glad we got rid of Megan's because that thing was a fucking piece of shit. Sorry to swear.
I still really like mine. I don't know. I just wish I had CarPlay. That's all I want. I just want CarPlay.
It is pretty nice. I will admit the Civi did come stock with CarPlay, so
just like listening to music and like seeing the artwork. I don't.
And being able to see your map at the same time.
Oh my God.
Because Megan's was 1 year newer than yours, and Megan's had the screen where you could see the GPS.
Disgusting.
Is very beneficial.
I wish I had that.
Last week's episode, we gave the boomers a lot of shit talk for not knowing how to write checks, but like honestly, man, you take my GPS away, I quit. I fucking quit.
I don't know how to maps.
I know the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west.
Yep.
So like if it's dark, I don't know cardinal directions. The North Star, what the fuck is that? Brightest star in the sun or in the sky? They're all pretty bright. It's fucking black up there. Like,
how do I measure the lumens here? How do I know which ones?
Yeah, right. Let me bust out my sextant real quick and like calculate the trajectory of the Little Dipper. So like, we give older folks a lot of shit for, being older folks, but like, honestly, get rid of the GPS or anything like that, I'm fucked.
I'm not looking at a topographical map and figuring out where I'm going. Like I think McDonald's is here, Like,
yeah, I'm a landmark driver. I am not a. Go north, dog. You're saying directions like I know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
One time I was coming. This is an anecdotal from Dirt Bike Jim's past. I was coming home from. I want to say it was Apple Cabin, which is a dirt bike track that is inside, you guessed it, an apple orchard.
Oh.
It was pretty cool because you can like roll up, go ride, on your way out, basket of apples for the road. It's pretty sick. Anyhow, shout out to Apple Cabin. So I was on my way home from Apple Cabin. I'm probably 16, 17, and I'm driving my mom's truck with my bike in the back, and I'm on my way home. And there's a big ass accident on the highway, and it's like standstill traffic, and I am running out of gas in the truck. Like the light is on the light is on, so you're less than 40-ish miles.
Yep.
I'm stuck in traffic, and it's standstill. I have no idea how far the next gas station is going to be. And this was before you had unlimited internet, right? So you had to like GPS it from home, load the map, and then get on the road, you know what I mean? Like, so I had to call my grandfather, who had an atlas, or at least he had a map of Northeast Ohio. And I'm on the phone with this man, shout out to Grandpa Jim, who I actually look very much similar to now that I'm bald. And this man had to like give me directions on the highway, and I'm like reading the mile markers and shit while it was.
That's insane.
You get rid of GPSs, dude, I'm out. So props to you old boomers and Gen Xers that know how to read a map, because, an EMP goes off and takes on all them satellites. Ooh, it's going to get spicy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no Apple CarPlay then.
Nope. No CarPlay, no Spotify, no GPS, no Pandora. Man, we'll actually have to like talk to the people in the car, or you have to like sing your own songs. We're bringing them back cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Give me an 8-track.
Yeah, we're going to be recording the podcast on 8 tracks.
On like a little Sony digital recorder. Yeah. We'll mail you a copy. Sign up for our newsletter.
Yeah, you can sign up for the newsletter where we mail you a copy of the podcast every week. It's just a transcription. You have to read it.
Someone, what a stenographer from the courtroom typed it all out. You can just read the transcript of the podcast.
That's exactly
Jim laughs aggressively.
They both said hydration check and reached for their gamer subs. Oh, look at that. It happened.
I'm not going to drink water.
Same. I mean, it's good. But speaking of music, since we just talked about it for a second there with Apple CarPlay.
I'm here for it.
We briefly talked about, I don't know if anybody out there in podcast land is familiar with the group known as Sleep Token.
I've heard of them a couple times.
Yes. One of my absolute favorite bands. They are a what do they call them? A masked collective.
Oh.
What?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
it's a name that ever was.
So for most of their career, starting in like 17, 18, nobody knows who they are. Like It was just like they were unnamed. And I think I read online somewhere they didn't, it was like in a written like response, it was like they wanted to remain anonymous so people could listen to the music and take it for what it was and not the people who were writing it. And I'm like, I love that idea. That's great.
It removes that sort of like, not even just political, but it removes any political affiliation. It removes any sort of like racial affiliation.
Yeah, literally everything.
Generational affiliation, location affiliation. You have no idea what this person looks like, where they're from, what their background is, what their beliefs are. The music slaps.
And
so
that's
like,
it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, you have Vessel, who is the singer, and then you have 2, 3, and 4.
It's so weird.
That's it, and that's great. But so what happened as of recent? Sleep Token, which I showed you the picture and you sent me a video about it too, but they just wiped their Instagram completely clean. So like no photos, no videos, literally nothing left on their Instagram. And
as of recording this.
I'm
sure it'll change next week.
I don't know. And then
we'll find out.
And then with just a message in the bio that says nothing lasts forever. So what happened is basically being a masked collective.
So strange.
You know, like when I started following them, I think they had like 18,000 Instagram followers. So like a good amount, but not like crazy, right?
Like still pretty underground. I mean, 18K is huge, but like 18K is nothing when, you know, the Kardashians probably have millions, right?
Right. So you go from 18,000, and then I think by the time This Place Will Become Your Tomb, their second full-length album came out, they were at like 35,000. And then as of today, 555,000.
So $500,000, okay.
So they jumped. Like when the songs, the first 3 tracks from the Take Me Back to Eden album dropped, they went from like, what did it say, like 180,000 monthly listeners to 1.8 million. I don't know
that's a good 100% increase.
Yeah, I don't know what it says on Spotify now what their monthly listeners are. Actually, let's just check, just live check.
You keep talking.
But basically, you know, you think when you're a smaller band like that, you know, comparison, you know, being masked and being unknown and unnamed, there's always going to be the people who like say like,
weirdos.
oh, I know who they are, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But like, it's a lot easier to keep it under wraps. Apparently no one's confirmed this, but apparently somebody like looked into it and like,
I saw that they like leaked a birth certificate.
They leaked the birth certificate for 3, who was the bass player.
So shitty.
And then apparently other like names of the other members, and like why can't people just enjoy something?
That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, like you love this band and you want nothing but the best for them.
Yes.
And then someone
How
does
can
this.
I best support them?
Yes. Like the birth certificate. You know?
I should definitely dox them.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I don't think it was a fan that did it. Maybe it was somebody who's jealous of their success and their growth in the past year, or like, who knows what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like,
it's just a scummy thing to do.
It's
regardless.
so scummy. No matter who it was,
Yep.
no matter what your intentions were, these people just wanted to remain anonymous. Like I read when they were recording albums, when they had the mask maker for their most recent mask, like everyone had to sign like these like ironclad NDAs.
Yeah.
And it's like somebody asked the recording artist, like the engineer, like, oh, how was it working with Sleep Token? He's like, no.
Can't talk about it.
No, just can't talk about it. So what did it say for monthly listeners?
3.2.
Oh my God, that's insane, dude.
3.2 mil. I was gonna ask you to guess, but
that's insane.
those are huge numbers.
3.2 million monthly listeners.
Monthly.
That's absolutely insane.
I'm one of them because I was just listening to Take Me Back to Eden today.
So was I. But yeah, so there's so many like possibilities. Like so what happens now? Like they leaked information. So like, are they done as a band? Are they done as a masked collective?
Yeah, or are they gonna just like let that dude go and get somebody new? I mean, I can't imagine they would.
I mean,
like,
it's not his fault.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right,
So
like-
it's like,
or maybe he just chooses to be like, I'm out. Like this ain't worth it. I'm out.
yeah, it's just like, well, what do you do? I mean, that's so much like private information.
Yeah,
and
it's easy to you know, couch talk from this side, and we're in the same predicament too, right? You know, like I wouldn't want someone to leak my information, but like here I am putting all my information out there. So like you know, what is it? Look a gift horse in the mouth, or you don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, you don't shit where you eat. So like, you know, there's gonna be something eventually on the internet that I don't want out there. Is gonna be out there because that's just how the internet works. But it is unfortunate, and you know, yeah, you're right. It's it's literally like the lowest tier of like scum that you can do or be, and you just should never do that to somebody.
Special place in hell
not
for
your fucking place.
That.
Like, did they ask you to do it? No, then don't do it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, like clearly they want to remain anonymous, and that's part of their whole appeal, and that's what they do. And it's like, it's okay to be like, oh, I know who the drummer is. Like, okay, whatever. Good for you, buddy. Like, no, like they just had their first ever interview with, it was a drummer on Drumeo, and like they used a whole like voice transformer to like
really, I didn't know they take it that serious.
It was super cool, but like, because they had never done like a video. Like when we saw them in concert, there was no talking between songs. It was song, 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 and off the stage.
We also left, but yes.
As soon as they were done, yeah. I went there for one reason. But
yeah. Dude, it was $20.
Yeah, it's just... It's insane. It's so unfortunate because like nobody knows what's going to happen. Are they going to reinvent themselves and come out as like themselves? Are they going to continue as a masked group and just like brush off?
Yeah.
Or are they just, they said nothing lasts forever. Are they just done?
So that's where my next question point of contention was going to be. I'm hoping, my opinion is that the Nothing Lasts Forever is like a rebrand, right? They just did the whole mask changeover, right? So maybe they're new vessels for some new token, or maybe this is, Sleep is now preventing or providing some other message, and they needed to change their, ephemeral form to represent the message that they're getting from Sleep, which is, those who don't,
the
deity that they like represent, like he said, the guy's name is Vessel. It's his stage name. And they're spreading the word of this deity from space called Sleep. Anyhow, so maybe this is the rebrand. Nothing lasts forever. It doesn't necessarily mean we're done. It's just whatever we've been doing is not going to continue forever. So maybe this is the mask rebrand that they were leading up to, and then it's just super unfortunate timing that it's the same time that this birth certificate thing may or may not have happened.
Maybe they just have to, speed up their plans, like you're saying, and like change that, or like, I don't know. I feel, if anything, like whatever gets them to continue making music in whatever capacity, I'm here for that. I just don't want it to be like, remember Sleep Token? Yeah, they were great until some guy just ruined it for everybody.
Yep.
Like, that's the last thing I want to happen. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
Terrible.
I mean, what is it? Slipknot, they do the mask thing, but I mean, we obviously know it's Corey Taylor and a couple of what was his name? Jordy something. I think it's
Joey Jordison.
Jody Jordison is not. That was the guy that passed away.
I don't know.
Right. Anyhow, they're all real people, so like they've all got names, and like you knew who they were, so maybe they go the Slipknot route where they like, what, this is our band persona, and when we write music as this persona. Like Kohi does that all the time, where they write these like concept albums where like it's not Claudio in the song. It's the thing, right? Who's the Neverender or whatever.
But I mean, so like,
what I'm talking about.
Claudio, I mean, he was in the story.
But I mean, it's what I'm getting at.
I get what you're saying. I get what
they
you're saying.
They make it bigger than just the people. It's beyond that.
I mean, man, it's just so hard. It's so hard because like nobody knows what's happening. Like,
tune in next week. We'll let you know.
Yeah, God, I hope we have some form of answer soon.
In a week, yeah. Who knows?
Oh, man. So upsetting. So upsetting. People got to ruin things. I don't know.
What are some other things that other people have ruined? One person ruined for everything.
Boy, there's so many things. You know what's funny? Where I used to work at Sweetwater, we used to get like when you work anywhere, you can get an employee discount, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we used to be able to get like a manufacturer accommodation. So like Marshall amps, Orange amps, like those big companies, right? We used to be able to get their special pricing for being a Sweetwater employee from the Sweetwater inventory, right? And then somebody ruined it, started buying stuff super cheap, and then like
reselling it
to customers.
So scummy. Hey, I got this thing on the down low. I'll give it to you for $20 or whatever. Yeah. So shitty,
yeah.
man.
And it's just like, So then that changed immediately.
Yep.
And then there's just like, it kept changing and changing and changing. It's like, God.
That was like the Best Buy discount, right? Like you could only use it, not your family members or your friends, definitely not them.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't allowed to take payment for stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm glad you never did that.
Yeah. Why would I do that? I'm not trying to get fired. I don't work there anymore. I never did that.
Not the headphones you sent me.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
What you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Didn't happen. There ain't no receipt proof.
Hey man, you bought it and gifted them to me.
Yeah, it was a gift.
That was so nice of you.
It was a gift, and you owed me money for something else. I don't know what you're talking about.
Something completely unrelated.
Yeah.
It just happened to coincide exactly.
It was the same price. I don't.
Yeah.
What are the odds? What? It's convenient, but it's all I gotta say.
The timing just worked out impeccably for both of us. If we're just being honest about it.
You know, sometimes fate just lines up like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what else we can talk about with fate? It should never be decided by a D20.
You know.
Great segue.
Fuck
Plus
you.
5.
Fuck you. Yeah, that was a critical
you like
nat 20.
You like that?
Have y'all played Baldur's Gate yet? Like, I mean, I'm sure a ton of you guys have.
The supposed game of the year.
I have no opinion on whether it should or shouldn't be game of the year. I'm not gonna. You hear this, man. All I gotta say is, look, in a game that is random chance, I understand that it is RNGesus. I get it. That is the whole point of a random number generator. Baldur's Gate is the video game version of D&D, for those who don't know, right? So, you know, in D&D, my character is gonna, run and jump, and I'm gonna slide, and I'm gonna stab the dragon in the belly, right? So your dungeon master or DM, he might say, okay, give me an agility check to see if you pass your little slide, right? So you get your little dice and you roll it and you're like, ooh, I got a 17. He's like, you nail the slide. And you're like, okay. And then I'm going to roll to stab the dragon. Ooh, crit 20, right? Double damage. Shank the dragon in the belly. You win. You get your gold, right? That's how D&D works. Baldur's Gate's the video game version of that. One of the first things you have to do in the game, and I'm talking literally the first thing you have to do out of the cutscene happens, you get your character, right? And then they give you the breakdown, like, push this button to go here. The first fucking check.
The first roll you ever do.
The first roll. You need a fucking 2 to pass this roll. How the fuck am I going to roll a nat 1 on the first fucking check of this game? Immediately uninstalled that bitch. Fuck that game. Fuck you, Baldur's Gate. I don't think it's not game of the year material. Jason's going to have some opinions on that. But dog, it's the first fucking roll of the game. You can't even guarantee me a fucking success on the first roll. I only needed a 2. And you mean to tell me I roll a nat 1? Dog, I've never hit the uninstall button so fucking fast. So that's my gripe about Baldur's Gate.
My biggest thing is like, okay, I get it. It's a really long game with a lot of different possibilities and outcomes. And like, I appreciate the development behind that. Mm-hmm. I will not deny that clearly takes a lot of work.
It also just looks beautiful.
Sure.
Looks so good.
But then you compare it to Spider-Man 2 and it's like, why am I even playing Baldur's Gate?
They're not even remotely the same game, but I understand.
One of them is great and the other one is Baldur's Gate.
Fair. Okay.
It's like, dude, I just can't. Spider-Man 2 was an absolute masterpiece.
It's fair.
And Baldur's Gate wins. Like, you have sex with a polar bear in that game.
Yeah, you can fuck a bear.
Or a bear.
It's still a bear.
Color doesn't matter. Sure.
You definitely can fuck a bear in that game, which, teach their own. It's
Come on, PETA.
It's not the choice that I would make in the game.
Come on, PETA. Let's get this win revoked and just give it to Spider-Man 2.
You think PETA's going to get involved?
They get involved wherever they want.
There were radioactive spiders that were being scientifically manufactured. So, maybe PETA's not going to be on Spider-Man's side.
Yeah, well, Norman Osborn has a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Baldur's Gate clearly has a lot of money. There's a lot of gold in that realm.
Yeah, not if you don't get past the first roll.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I almost didn't even make it out the fucking spaceship. Long story short, I almost crashed the damn spaceship because I failed the first check. I was so mad. So mad.
I am at the part where you get off of the spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like right there.
The island, yeah.
Yeah,
I made it to the island.
I made it to the island. I'm like, what do I do? Like I took a nap, like I napped at the cot or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do I do? I started walking around, couldn't find what I'm supposed to do. And I was like, I'm going to go play something different.
It also really bothers me that you can't just move your character with the joystick. I've grown up playing video games with up, down, left, right, or now everything is joystick. My brain does not understand WASD. That's why I stopped playing World of Warcraft, because it was very difficult. I wish now I could play with a joystick, so I very well might get back into WoW. But this is just me bitching about video games, but I just don't understand WASD. So like when I can't play a game with a joystick, you've already got some demerits in my book, and like it's not looking good for me to finish your game. Gonna be honest.
That's what it takes, people.
In the Baldur's Gate is an isometric, so it's got like a weird kind of third-person, top-down angle camera, and it kept like getting caught on the ceiling, and I couldn't see around shit, and you can't. It was just, I don't know. Maybe I need to give it another try because they've already got my money. So what's the point of me bitching? I've already given them my $60. So
what do you prefer, like camera-wise? I know we both played a ton of games. First person, third person.
Oh, it really depends on the game. Just if it's gonna be one, do the one thing really well. Like don't give me a top down, right? Because Baldur's Gate can be top down, or you can kind of zoom in and almost have like a behind the head first person, so you can kind of see into the distance, right? Like it doesn't do one very well. It does both shittily. Does that like?
Oh yeah.
So. I mean, I could play the fuck out of some first-person shooters. We played the absolute shit out of Borderlands. And I love Smite, which is a third-person MOBA. So, like, I don't really have a preference from camera, but, like, Baldur's Gate 3, dog, y'all fucking up with that camera. And I'm sure there's some other people who may be bitching about it, but...
Yeah, I think, I don't know, a really good first person is great. Like, I'm a big fan of Destiny, which is, like, generally first person.
Minus like your specials, right?
And the sword and stuff like that. Gears of War is one that I remember. Like that was a third person, like over the shoulder kind of thing.
I never played Gears, but yes.
Yeah, and it was done so well. Original Gears of War was just top tier, man. But I don't know.
I mean, I'm glad you brought up Baldur's Gate, because like Savannah's been playing recently, and she was like, "Hey, it'd be really fun if we like, because she works 2 different firefighter jobs. I work a 9 to 5. Trey works, and he lives in Oklahoma. Trey works till 11 p.m. our time, 10 p.m. Central. So like it's just really difficult to like get everybody together. Yeah. And it would have been really fun to like everybody sit down on a Saturday night and like let's all play some Baldur's Gate together. But like I just can't bring myself to forcefully sit through that game when I'm not having a good time. I would love to play with my friends, and we'd have a Sad Boys Sunday game night. Would be so fun if you and I just ran around and goofed off in Baldur's Gate or Smite or something. If you guys are interested in watching us play games, let us know, because that is something we've talked about.
We have.
So it would just be super fun to get a bunch of my friends together or our friends together and just play some Baldur's Gate. But nope, I can't. Just can't get into it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And there really isn't that many games that support that many people, too. So,
yeah,
because you could have like 5 or 6 people in that game in one party, and it would have been really fun to have a full squad just roll up and just start hurling fireballs and swinging swords and casting necrotic poison spray and shit like that.
Dude, and in 2024 now, like, can we stop like the 2-player party system, or the Destiny 3-player fire team?
I was getting ready to ask, are we talking about the U.S. politics system? Or
nope, we're talking about video games here. We don't talk about politics anymore. So like Destiny, like the normal
3-man fire team.
Unless you're doing a raid, when you get 6, it's a 3-man team. It's like, or you're going to Crucible, I guess, but still like. just running around in the open world. Like, why can't I have? You support so many players on a server in a world. Why can't we just have 6 friends just running around and just blasting through story missions together?
Too simple. Can't have that.
Yeah.
No fun allowed.
Like, in 3 is such a weird number.
Yeah.
Because you have to pick 2 of your friends.
Yeah.
What if you have 5 friends or 4 friends? And that's happened so many times where it's like I'm playing with 2 other friends and someone else gets on and joins the fire team. And it's like, oh, now we have to play Crucible.
Yeah, we have to go do a 4-man.
A 4-man activity. And it's like, oh, we were trying to do something. Can you just like hop out?
Yeah. Before my friend group dissolved from, or the friend group dissolved from Best Buy, a bunch of us played Overwatch, and we had 6, and it was a 6-person team, and it was great. We could all play, and it was all fun. And then Overwatch 2 was like, hey, going to 5v5, and it was like, cool.
Oh.
So, like, if you're the last friend to join, you're waiting until one of your friends goes to bed or goes to take a piss, or like, hey, I need to go change a washing machine. I'm gonna step out this game. Then, like, you can swap in. I mean,
damn, I didn't realize that they dropped it down to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Overwatch 1 was 6v6 and Overwatch 2 is 5v5.
Lame.
I played the fuck out of some Overwatch 2, though. It's not very fun, though. I get very angry at that game. Dirtbike Jim has made Podcast Jim very competitive, and he has a short fuse.
Well, Gamer Jim has a really short fuse.
And Gamer Jim has a really short fuse.
Gamer Jim's replaced a few Xbox controllers in his day.
Oh, yeah. Those bitches have become projectiles. 1v1 Rocket League, not the game mode for me.
Yeah, you wanna know what the fastest land object in the world is? A controller after Jim just lost a 1v1 of Rocket League.
Yeah, I get...
Done. Land speed record, 600 miles into drywall. You know what I mean? Like,
I've had to do some. I'm really good at patching drywall. I'm just saying. That's not my proudest moment, and like, it's not something I should be bragging about. But like, I've grown as a human, and I haven't broken a controller in like probably 5 years, which is like,
proud of you.
Whew, it's an all-time record for me. I still get mad, and then like, you just punch yourself in the thigh, and it doesn't hurt. You know, like. It's just all meat. That doesn't hurt. So, like, instead of breaking my chair or throwing my controller or putting something through my monitor, just
you're growing as a person.
Yeah, you give yourself a couple taps in the thigh, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't be angry at this video game.
Progress is progress. That's why you just uninstall it and move on.
Exactly. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to uninstall and play something else.
I'm going to uninstall it and do a chargeback, okay?
LOL rage quit. I wish I could have charged that back, but I bought that shit when it was in pre-sale. I got... One of my friends, he was a flavor of the week kind of gamer, and that was the flavor of the week. It was like, ooh, BG3 is in like pre-sale. You can get it now, and we could play before it comes out. And I was like, ooh, this sounds fun. I like playing D&D. I'll like playing D&D video game. Wrong.
Wrong-o.
And then during the pre-sale, or the pre-order, whatever it was, every time they patched something, you had to fucking start over. Right? So like, this was before the game officially released, so like you would play it, right? And you
like
play it for like 2 weeks, whatever it was. And then they'd be like, ooh, patch 2.0 comes out, start over. So you play it, right? And you get through the ship, you land on the island. And like, I've played the ship and the island so many times that I don't want to play the ship and the island again. And I have no idea what the rest of the game's like. But now I'm just so frustrated that I don't even want to get past the part that I've played through 4 times.
That's fair.
And it had to start all over again. So it was just... I'm sure that there are quite a few of our listeners who are not gamers or not Baldur's Gate fans. And they're like, are these guys ever gonna shut up about this fucking game?
The answer to that question,
No.
And listen really closely, and most importantly, it's our podcast. We'll talk about what we want. So
thank you.
But anyway,
you want to bitch about it? Go start your own podcast.
Yeah, start your own podcast and talk about how we just rant about things. Make sure you link our podcast though. Tell people to follow us. Yours. Yeah. But on that note, I think we're going to end it for tonight.
I'm here for that.
Yeah, we're not going to go play Baldur's Gate, that's for sure. Because it's definitely not Game of the Year, and it was rigged. Anyway,
I'm also not going to take the time to reinstall 150 gigs.
Yeah, dude. We're not even going to talk about how much space games take nowadays. And last thing, I downloaded a game the other day, new Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown on Switch. Mm-hmm. Love it. Great game. 8 out of 10. It took up 6 gigs.
That's it.
Oh, thank you so much, Ubisoft.
Meanwhile, every Call of Duty update is 120 a piece.
Yeah, Ubisoft, thank you so much for what you did there. 6 gigs. I appreciate you. You know what else I appreciate? Everybody who listens.
You guys out there in podcast
follows the podcast. I promise you, I'm going to start making more reels again. It's going to happen. I know I've been saying this. I've got like 5 episodes to go through and just blast through reels.
Oh man, it's going to be Reelapalooza.
Get your butthole ready, okay? It's going to be everywhere.
He said he's coming. Swiggity, swoogity. Jason's coming for that booty. Never heard that before?
No.
Swiggity, swoogity. I'm coming for that booty.
Nope. Not coming for the booty. It's a saying, I think. I don't know. But there's going to be a lot of reels coming up. So if you're not already, please hit subscribe and follow
It's probably
along.
right here or right here, but just hit the button.
For me, it's over here. For Jim, it's over there.
Is that how it works? Is it right here? So
yeah,
right here is the button.
I want to do it right there.
Yeah.
Perfect. And bloop, it popped up. Look at that.
Oh, wait. There we go.
There we boom. Okay,
Boom.
got it. Fusion dance. So thank you again for joining us for episode 36 and your regularly scheduled midweek Sad Boy update.
Oh, sounds so good.
I practiced in the car today, you know?
See, yeah, you heard me say it.
Yeah, you did. And I'm like, dang, Jim
we
just
sound
did it
professional.
So,
like we know what we're doing.
Dang. I love it. I love it. I'm here for it.
Anybody working at a media content company, the DMs are open. We'd love to sign a contract. You hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up. We just require some kind of merch deal so we can use a code of 2 fists up.
It'd be a BOIS on the check.
On the check. I mean, it could literally just be stickers. We don't even care. We just want to have the ability to say use code 2 fists up at checkout for 10% off your purchase. Anybody out there wants to sponsor us.
Yep.
2 fists up. I mean, if there's any companies who sell provocative
soap?
Things, or
maybe some
soap.
delicious smelling soap. Delicious smelling. Yeah.
I'm going to shout out Dr. Squatch here. I did open a new I did open a new bar of soap.
Ooh.
The cold brew cleanse.
Sounds coffee themed.
Honestly, I think it jumped to favorite.
Ooh.
Over Pine Tar.
Whoa. How does that fare with TK though? What's her ranking? Because that's what's important.
Doesn't matter.
You're not sniffing yourself; she's sniffing you.
So I sniff myself in the shower. I clean myself with that, and it's like it's gritty, so like it feels so good. I fucking love you, Dr. Squatch.
I am still enjoying my whatever the Darth Maul one was, like the Sinister
Ruthless
Sith
Rinse or something.
Yeah, it was the Sinister Sith or the Ruthless Rinse, whatever the Darth Maul one was. That's the one I'm still working with. Still smells delectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Fucking Dr. Squatch, Gamer Subs. I mean, shit. Anybody want to reach out? We're here. Let us know.
Yeah. So
you guys out in Podcast Land, thanks for tuning in. I'm Jim.
I'm Jason.
And we are the Midwest Sad Boys, and this has been episode 36. We'll catch you next week for some new and exciting topics. And maybe we'll roll nat 20s instead of nat 1s. So
maybe.
Stay sad, y'all. Bye.
Can't break.
Still think
Get
we
out
need
of the
to get
refrigerator right now.
Bob, 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 bob.